All right, you guys, another really quick video. My alarm's about ready to go off for work, and I was watching church service that I missed yesterday, and this is at the church that I was married at, and my husband attends right now. And the pastor is talking about the Corinthians and reading in that book of the Bible. And we've been studying that book also in our care group. And so I am listening to him. I listen to this pastor every week, even though I don't attend church there anymore. And I do attend the care group still, but I really like his preaching, and it just seems like every time he's preaching, he's talking straight to me. And so he was saying something about how we are to, keep our focus on God. And that is one thing that I'm trying to tell you guys in my videos, is about focusing your relationship and your decision making and doing what God is calling you to do as a human being. We are all set to spread the gospel, which is what I'm trying to do now on this channel more and more in my daily life and everything I do as a Christian single mom. And so the decisions that you make and how you act and how others perceive to know who you are is a reflection of Jesus Christ living in you if you are a Christian. And so the pastor here is talking about how sometimes God will put those people in your life to help you. And I was just thinking about my marriage and what went wrong in my marriage. And, when I was first going through my divorce, I was really, really sad and angry at myself. And why did I marry this guy if, he never loved me and all this? And it wasn't until after we were married I didn't know that my spouse didn't love me. And I really believed that Jesus Christ told me to marry my spouse. And through my divorce, I rededicated my life to Jesus and got my life back on track with him, because I really pushed God back on that back burner of the oven of life during my marriage. It was really bad, you guys. I really tried and was struggling with loving my spouse and doing what my spouse wanted to do and being a submissive wife. And in the midst of all that, there was sin. And then I felt conviction. I felt conviction of sin. And it's really hard to be married when you're unequally yoked. And so I have looked back at my marriage, and I keep thinking, why did I marry this guy in the first place? And why did I waste almost 10 years of my life with this person? And why did I, why did I get pregnant on our wedding night? And why did I have my children in the middle of all this? And every time I think of those questions, I think of what the pastor just said. Sometimes you're put in people's lives, and other people are put in your life to set an example, to show God's power living in you. Maybe you're being used as a witness to someone. And he used the example of some guy came out of the middle of nowhere at a gas station that he worked at and handed him a tract and then left. Didn't say a word or anything, just said, here, and then handed it to him. And he put it on the top of the cigarette machine and he just was thinking it was for someone else. And eventually that tract never left it, and he would go back to work and it would still be sitting there, and go back to work and it would still be sitting there. Finally, he opened it up, and that's kind of what started his relationship with Jesus Christ. And so I think about that, was my marriage a waste of my time, like I feel like it is, or was, for 10 years almost? And the answer is no. It wasn't a mistake that I married who I married. It wasn't a mistake that we had our child on our wedding night. And my faith has not changed. I was a Christian at the age of 5. Yes, I am a sinner. Yes, I have my faults. Yes, I am learning what I did wrong in my marriage. But ultimately, it comes down to my relationship with Jesus Christ individually. When I first met my spouse is what I'm back on track with in my relationship with Jesus as I am now. And so the things that attracted my spouse and I together was our relationship with Jesus Christ. Our marriage was, I thought, on the foundation of God, and later found out it wasn't. And I can't change that. I can't change the decisions of my spouse, and I can't change the lies. I really just can't do anything about that. But did God use me in my marriage? I 100% believe that he did. Is it growing opportunity of my faith in Jesus and my relationship with Jesus? Heck yeah, because my relationship with Jesus has grown so much stronger since my husband filed for divorce, and I'm so thankful that he did. Because now I can be rest assured in the times that we're living in, I need my faith to be strong in Jesus. So like the pastor was saying, there is going to be a time where we are going to be persecuted for our faith. Actually, I was thinking of something I watched on YouTube this morning. Jimmy Evans was talking about how the persecution of Christians is not anything close to what it's going to be in the end times. And we have to, as Christians, do what's right. Do what God has commanded us to do. Set that example in our lives, in the decisions that we make, in our marriages, in our families, and with our children, and at our jobs, every day, to be that witness to someone else. Leave that track for that person. And that person may or may not ever come to know Christ, but you maybe have planted that one and only seed that that person's going to have. And I feel like that maybe that's what my marriage was for. My husband knew how strong my faith was. He knew I loved watching pastors online. I love worship and singing out loud. And there became a point in our marriage where I started realizing our beliefs were kind of off. They weren't in line with each other. Alexa, off. And so I knew that decisions that were being made as a family and individually were not in line biblically. I just want to encourage you guys that if you are in a marriage that you're unequally yoked with your spouse and you realize that, I do firmly believe you are there for a reason. You're in that marriage for a reason. And I would not file for divorce. I would still be married to my husband right now if he would have not filed for divorce. I think it's wrong. My Bible says it's wrong. And God says you are to have a marriage covenant that you're committed to. God wants you to be committed to him. He doesn't want you walking away from your covenant vows that you make with Jesus Christ as a believer. He doesn't want you to fall away. He doesn't want you to be lawless and do what you want to do. He doesn't want you to be sinful. And he wants you to keep your relationship tight with him. He wants unity. He wants togetherness. especially in families. He wants husbands and wives to be united with him in marriage. And, I really feel like that my divorce is protection for me and my children. My divorce is something that was needed. And it was my way out. So I can focus more on my relationship with Jesus Christ. And I can make decisions now that are one with Jesus. In the times that we're living in, you guys, we got to stand up for our faith. We have to do what's right. We have to tell the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts, It will hurt someone. And so the pastor here just asked a question. And he says, let's think about this for this week. Have you ever been hurt by someone else because you feel like you've done something for Jesus Christ and you didn't get the credit for it? And I was kind of like questioning about that at first, because he says if the answer is yes, then, you need to self-examine yourself and why you are doing something that was something that God called you to do. And, when he asked that question, I was like, what? Because I had to think about that. Because my first ultimate answer to that question was, no, why in the world would I be upset over what other people think of me? And then it just kind of went back to the Jimmy Evans thing this morning on YouTube, where he says people are going to be beheaded for their faith, And I was thinking, my faith is who I am. My belief in Jesus Christ is who I am. Without Jesus in my life, I'm nothing. And during my marriage, I felt like I was nothing because there was no spiritual leadership in our family. And I was not strong enough to do it on my own. I felt like I couldn't overstep that role my spouse was supposed to be doing in our marriage. And there was major conflict inside me spiritually in my marriage because of the conviction of sin and because of the roles being messed up. I just did a video on that. The roles of Christ being the leader, and then the husband, and then the wife, and then the children. And if everything is in order, then you are right with Jesus Christ, under that umbrella of Christ. And so, I am feeling like God has provided this journey of singleness for me in order to be that witness in my marriage, through my marriage, in my divorce, through my divorce. And, that puts me on top of the world because I know that I am walking with Christ. So I want to encourage you guys, walk with Jesus Christ, and you'll be in right standing with him. You will be doing his will. You will be the witness in your life, in everything you do. Right now, I got to get ready for work. You guys, I'm late. And I'm going to go witness at work. I'm going to set that example at work. I'm going to show the children at work that I'm taking care of, that people love them genuinely. And I will never leave my kids at the daycare and forsake them when they need me. If God is calling me to leave my job, then I will leave my job. But those kids, I want to leave the seed. I want to plant the seed of they are loved. And I think I did that in my marriage. I planted the seed. I was a witness in my marriage. And now I'm definitely a witness in my divorce. So I want to encourage you guys today. I just thought I would do a quick video because it really made me think, you know, am I really wasting my time with loving someone because God told me to? Was I wasting 10 years of my life? No. No, I didn't waste a single second. I did what God commanded me to do. I've done what's right. And I have sinned along the way, and I've asked for forgiveness, repented of my sins, and God has made me stronger through this journey. And He will for you too. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.